Hi guys, this is Tanya Jones of Encourage a Life Christian Counseling Center. I am your professional counselor and life coach. Please remember to share these videos, subscribe, also click that notification bell so that you may be notified of all new videos that I upload. I'm trying to upload about 2 a week. Remember, this channel is all about encouragement, helping to normalize the conversation around mental health, especially within the minority community. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I just wanted to talk about loneliness. One of the things that I was reminded of was individuals who live alone, right? Who don't have family members that are really close. I know I have 2 adult children who moved out last year. So they basically are alone as well. But thinking about individuals who do live alone, I have individuals, again, in my family as well. However, my children can get to me. They're not very far away. They can get to different family members. We all live very close, so it's easy to kind of get to somebody. But now that we are sheltered in place, those individuals who do live alone, you may know them, friends and family, they're not able to get out and to go see because, of course, we're on shutdown and lockdown until this virus is kind of dealt with and at a place where we can get back to some normalcy in our lives. But for right now, we are shut in and shut down. So one of the things I thought, maybe I can come and talk to you about is this idea of loneliness. I have some clients who do live alone and have expressed concern, just being lonely and not really knowing what to do, how to reach out, so to speak. And just feeling the extra pressure of what they may have already, been going through. So one of the things I'm reminded of is that when we talk about loneliness, I'm reminded as a child of God that we are relational beings, right? So inherently, we are relational beings. That's how the Lord created us. We are individuals who need that connectivity. And you'll hear some people say, well, I don't need to be around nobody. I don't need to sit down and talk to nobody. I don't need anybody. Everybody needs somebody. Whether we want to admit to it or not, we do need individuals in our lives. There was a study done in 2010. It's outlined in an article that was done in Psychology Today on loneliness. And the article noted that there was about 40% of individuals who reported being lonely. And that was in 2010. We're in 2020, right? 10 years later, where that study, of course, is going to be done again. But 40% is a high number of individuals reporting feeling loneliness. But there is a difference between that kind of short-term loneliness and chronic loneliness. Short-term loneliness is really beneficial to us because it encourages us to look at our relationships. It encourages us to start strengthening relationships that we have. You know how somebody be like, I never hear from you. You never call me. I have a cousin whom I love dearly and I talk to almost every day. I'm going to shout her out, Bridget. Hi. But I talk to her a lot. So, and I look forward to her calling me, and I don't call her as much, but I always look forward to her calling me. So I do call, but I don't call as much. But that's what I mean by just staying kind of connected with individuals, helping to strengthen relationships, being reminded, pick up a phone, and say hi, see how somebody, may be doing, right? They may be going through some things. So that short-term loneliness is beneficial in helping us to strengthen our relationships. And then you have this chronic loneliness where it's very harmful to your mental health. It's harmful to your physical health. And it's something that you then want to kind of take kind of a longer look at to determine, exactly what is going on. So when we're looking at chronic loneliness, number one, I would say that loneliness poses a serious threat again to your well-being, your physical well-being. And a lot has been done. A lot of research has been done in reference to that. And we talk about the physical effects of loneliness. We're talking about heart disease, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, things like that. And then mentally, it can bring on a serious depression. You ever just sit and begin to, again, if you're not around people and you're by yourself, you're isolated, and you begin to think about things, memories will come up, and they'll trigger this loneliness in you. Well, think about that. And individuals having those things happen who are experiencing loneliness in a chronic sense and really can't get up and over that. And that's how it kind of leads into depression. So chronic loneliness is very serious. And again, loneliness is a response to isolation. So some steps that you can take if you are feeling this way, or you experiencing loneliness, or somebody experiencing loneliness. Of course, I'm going to encourage you to contact a professional like myself or someone else, just to begin to talk about what's going on with you. But number one, connect with your family and friends. Many people say, I don't have any family and friends. Again, you have somebody. And if you don't, that's something else we want to take a look at, as to say, well, why haven't you cultivated relationships? Because, that's a tall tale of something else may potentially be going on as well. But I would say number one would be get in touch with your friends and your family. Call them, pick up the phone. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Type thing. I would say also volunteer. A lot of people, I always tell a lot of older people to volunteer, because I have a couple of clients that are older, and I'm saying 65 or older, that will say I have nothing to do. And, they have so much experience, so much to offer. So I'm always telling them, volunteer, I need you to volunteer. But finding something, a group, especially with like-minded individuals, things that you may like to do. One of my clients love to sew. I was like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's something that you can teach. That's a talent that, is much needed. But just, those kind of things just to get you out the house. And normally they're received very well, very positive. Sometimes, people are a little, concerned in reference to getting there and how to get back and, things like that. But after working out things like that, they're all for it. So, I would say volunteer. Number 3 would be take up an activity, requiring 2 or more people. So don't take up something that's just by yourself, but requiring 2 or more people. I'm always encouraging people to exercise. I need to do more of that myself. Go for walks. Walks are very powerful. They just serve as a release, refreshing, reviving. So if you can get someone to walk with you, the better, because it, generates, of course, conversation. As you're exercising and getting out and getting that fresh air. Even now, where we're sheltered in place, take a walk, go for a walk. And I'm not saying go far, make sure you do have your mask. But I'm just saying, like, around the corner, around the block. In my development, it's a cul-de-sac. So just doing a little circle, but take a walk, just get some fresh air, break up the monotony, right, of your days, especially if you're getting up and working and cleaning and cooking and going back to bed, and, break up that monotony by doing something different. One thing that's different, in your day, just to kind of break it up. And, number 4 would be, know that loneliness is a feeling, not a fact. So remember, we talked about, these triggering of emotions and memories, will come about, and you just start feeling like, really lonely. Personally, I can share that, I'm widowed. So sometimes when I think about my late husband, I get that lonely feeling. So they're triggered by memories. So that's, a feeling, and feelings are what? Flighting. I always tell people, especially when you have a disagreement, you're mad, you're upset, right? You want to just go in. I always tell people, take a deep breath and let it go for a little while. Because you want to get to a place where you're not reacting out of anger. Remember, that feeling is high, but you're able to kind of think about what's going on, see it in a different light, right? and then deal with the situation. So again, feelings are fleeting. So just remember that. But know that loneliness is a feeling. It's not a fact. So when we get into it being a fact, the fact is maybe you are isolated, and then you would then do some of those things that we kind of talked about in reference to helping you to not feel as lonely by doing what? Socially connecting, right? That connectiveness. Again, we are relational beings. We were created to relate. And it's, again, inherently something the Lord has given to each and every one of us. So I am always concerned about people who just want to be by themselves. I want to be myself. I want to be myself. Yes, it is good to be by yourself. It's good to take time to isolate, to draw back. We know that Jesus did that, right? So it's very good to do that, especially when we're going into prayer. We need to think about some things. We need to seek the Lord on some things. So yes, it's very good to kind of draw back and isolate. But when you're isolating continuously, and again, it's affecting functionality, that's when it's a serious concern. So if you know someone who is feeling lonely, who is really just kind of struggling, going through this time, especially that we're in this shut-in, I want you to give them the number to Encourage a Life Christian Counseling Center, 215-520-1100. I want you to encourage them to email. Sometimes people don't feel really comfortable talking. Encourage them to email encouragepressllc@gmail.com. I respond to a lot of emails. I direct people need to, maybe they need something more than I can offer as a counselor. I'm going to direct them to where they could potentially find that help. So again, I take this very seriously. Individuals who are struggling with anything, whether it's loneliness, depression, anxiety, bipolar, whatever it may be, I take it very serious in reference to an individual stepping out. That first step, that first call, it's a challenge. So, I would encourage you to be there for them, not just give them a number, not just say, here, do this, email this, but stay on them. And if you can in some way connect with them to help them in that, great. But don't just say, here, call and let it go. Check up on them. Hey, did you call? Come on. I care about you. I love you. And I care about your mental health. So again, 215-520-1100. They can email me at encouragepressllc@gmail.com. And I, of course, always let you guys know and encourage you if you have a topic that you want me to kind of talk about, if you want a greater understanding on something, if I can help. I love researching. I don't know everything, but I do love researching. So email me if you have any questions or things that you would like for me to share or just to check into. Again, this whole channel is about encouragement and helping to normalize the conversation around mental health. Listen, you are not crazy. And I don't like that word. A lot of us just need that break to be able to talk to somebody, and we're here to listen. So thank you so much for listening. Please share this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also hit the thumbs up for the videos as well. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Again, I'm Tanya Jones of Encourage a Life Christian Counseling Center. Be encouraged, stay encouraged, be free. God bless.